So where are we at in terms of busing and making sure that everybody knows what bus they're supposed to take, where they catch it, all that stuff for tomorrow?
Well, we've routed 20,000 students who qualify for busing. We've gone through all of the courtesy applications that have been received up to date, and Stock has made an initial contact with all of those parents to provide them with some information about routing. In some cases, we still are trying to sort out some of the data on their application to make sure it matches the data that we have on file in PowerSchool. And in those cases, we're going to provide those parents with a solution for the first week of school while we work through to find them a permanent solution.
So does that mean by the, say, end of day today, parents who need to know whether their child will be bused or not will know?
If they log into Bus Planner, they will be able to get their busing information. If it's a case of courtesy where there's a question about some of the information, Stock is going to be providing them with a list of stops in the area, which is what we did last year. And so that students know that they can go to a certain place within their neighborhood to get a bus to get to school.
Okay, so so while they may not get an answer right away about the courtesy situation, I'm just trying to make sure I understand this, they'll at least have some options to look at in terms of stops. Is that right? Or?
Yep. While we might not have an answer for them that will apply for the entire year, we'll have an answer for the first week. But our goal is where there's space, we will bus students, if they're courtesy students who have applied. We are maintaining all of the courtesy stops we had last year, and it is our goal, and I believe all of the applications that have been processed until now have been approved. So vast majority of them will be approved, but in the meantime, we're going to come up with a temporary solution so they know they can get on a bus starting tomorrow.
For the first week?
Absolutely, for the first week, while we may have to contact parents and say, here's the information you put in your application, here's the information we have in PowerSchool. We want to make sure that this is correct, because when bus routes get generated, they get generated out of the information in PowerSchool, and we wouldn't want to provide someone with an answer and then have it get overridden. So it's a time-consuming process in terms of us having to contact people directly, but we've been working very closely with Stock. I know Stock has put in a number of additional resources to address concerns. We have additional resources in place to take calls. We're getting lots of calls, and we are getting back to people. It's just taken us a little bit of time because tomorrow's the first day. We've had this in place for the first few months, but understandably, parents are now turning their mind back to school.
So why didn't this happen earlier? Because some parents are saying now this is like down to the wire. It's less than 20 hours before the first day of school. Like, why are they just finding out now?
Well, Bus Planner went live in early July, so people could log in then. We did communicate with parents back in July with the process. With regards to courtesy, which has been proven to be a challenge for us, it's a new process in terms of having people register. We're working through that ourselves and learning a lot more as we go. So we do apologize for the inconvenience it might be causing, but in the end, we really feel comfortable and confident this is going to be a much better solution than what we've had in the past, when last year we had lots of challenges with transportation. We're really trying to get ahead of those this year so we don't see them extending throughout the school year.
So what are the challenges that this is designed to avert?
Well, there's a few things. One is that we will know where every student is at all times, and that is very important both to parents and to schools if there's ever an emergency. Another thing that it does is by assigning a student seat, we know exactly who's going to be on the bus, which Stock then has gone out and routed for. They've done test runs prior to the start of the school year to ensure that the routes that they've come up with and generated on a computer actually work in real time. So they've been doing some adjustments to that. The other thing that really doing this is going to allow is parents to have more information than they've ever had about their child's transportation. They'll know exactly what bus they're getting on, they'll know the stop, but they'll also be able to track that bus and follow it if they wish through Bus Planner. And then if there's ever a delay, they'll get a push notification telling them the bus is going to be late, here's the expected time it's going to arrive. So hopefully some of that information that we've not been able to provide parents in the past is going to go a long way towards assuring parents that the bus service that we're providing this year is going to be far better than it's been in the past.
I just want to run by you a scenario of a parent I talked to today. So while I was talking to her, she kept checking Bus Planner, and first there was nothing, and then all of a sudden she saw that her child has a bus coming home from school, but not to school. So why does that happen? Why is it like half a bus route for her?
Well, it could be a number of things without knowing specifically about the situation. It may be that they're using an alternate address, for example, and the alternate address may be qualified for busing because it's outside of a distance, and the distance that they live from home to school, which they might be using in the morning, may not. So it's a courtesy in the morning, it's not necessarily a courtesy in the afternoon. So there could be lots of reasons. In those specific situations, we want to get kids on the bus for the first week. We'll sort out the details. We've had lots of situations where we have dual custody families, or we have alternate addresses being used for stops. We have lots of situations like where a few days a week they're at one, a few other days of the week. So it's not just the regular, here's the stop, here's where it's going to be 195 days of the year. We're really down to rooting for these really special circumstances in many cases, and we expect that we'll get it sorted in the next few days, but in the meantime, we're going to have a plan that addresses it from day one so they know they're going to get on a bus.
So what should she do? Should she wait for a call? Is someone going to call her?
Someone should contact her. If not, she should reach out to us. I know that people are suggesting that lots of calls are not getting it. We're responding to every call. It's just taken us a while because, again, the last day before school, lots of calls are coming in. Most of those are very quick calls, but we're dealing with some really unique challenges with some of them.
That's all my questions, unless there's anything you want to add.